the Mutant Manifesto. My name is Jackie. This is Frozen Rhizome. I guess I wanted to talk about ice again. And I wanted to talk about different types of affect that it's been bringing up for me and for probably other people too, but specifically for me, in particular, the affect that I'm interested in getting into more right now is that of anger and rage. Like 1 block away from where I work, there was just today, Wednesday, January 14th, 2026, tons of police activity. I say police, and that's something I did in the last episode too. I said police, I said law enforcement, but what I'm talking about is ICE. And I think it's safe to say at this point that police and law enforcement are one and the same when it comes to actual allegiance and actual alignment. But they are different entities, technically. But yeah, like a dad and his 2 children were picked up by ICE, like forcefully, brutally. There was a car that they were pulled from and then abducted from. And the kids were holding a puppy as they were abducted. The puppy was also abducted. And so, like, my coworkers and the neighborhood patrols, they all responded to that. And were very much enraged and demoralized. So I guess the real sentiment I'm trying to hone in on here is that of rage. I was here in Minneapolis when George Floyd was murdered. And in the aftermath of that, a lot of property damage occurred. Which, for the record, I am pretty agnostic about. I'm pretty down for. I mean, the idea of like looting as something that's like a no-no when it has to do with situations where enforcement has murdered an individual, I think that's absolutely justified. In fact, in general, the larger circumstance in which these murders occur is one in which constant reallocation of labor and time and life essence is being siphoned from the middle and lower classes to the ultra wealthy. So within that context, any kind of reappropriation of wealth is justified. Any sort of reckoning with the toll that takes on individuals is justified. None of the protesters or rioters or looters killed anybody. Whereas innocent people on our side were killed. In both that instance and the interim between that instance and this current situation, and certainly in the current occupation of Minneapolis by ICE and by the federal government, has. So I guess on one hand, there's this thing where it's been, people are talking about how, and I actually have also expressed this idea, that it's actually pretty impressive how this time around there actually has been very little property damage. Nothing's been put on fire. Barely anything in the public or private domain has been damaged in the aftermath of Renee Good's murder, and in the context, the ongoing context of an unprecedented level of occupation and constitutional disbandment. As I was recording that first little bit of this episode, I got a text from somebody and then checked the signal groups and saw that there had been another person shot by ICE near where I live. And so I went out to patrol and protest.
Back up! We got border back the fuck up! We'll kill you, shitbag!
And at the protest, they were throwing flashbangs. They had this whole line. The MPD was doing perimeters while ICE was taking up the center in this big spectacle. And they were throwing out flashbangs and pepper spray and chemical weapons.
Fuck you, pig! Fucking kill yourself! You fucking loser! Put that fucking gun in your mouth!
Because you look like a fucking loser! You're fucking little dick pussy ass bitches! Jerk it off! That's how fucking small your fucking head is! Fucking understand that shit! Fucking stupid ass bitches over here, bro! Fuck all of you guys! Every single one of you! Especially that white bitch I was talking to earlier, ho! I'm still here!
We want war for our peace! The agents are still here. The lady didn't sign us!
I don't know what they're doing to the family inside, but they're still
Kill yourself! Kill yourself! Get a real job, you fucking pussy! Go get the shovel, motherfucker! All right, Carter! You'll get yours, bitch! I hope you're ready for the Nuremberg trials, point two, pussy!
Let's go, Nuremberg 2027, baby!
Nuremberg!
Nuremberg! Nuremberg! Nuremberg!
Nuremberg!
Nuremberg!
You're a fucking loser!
But of course, none of the protesters actually committed acts of violence. We threw snowballs. We rattled the empty canisters of chemical weapon deployment things. So the question becomes, what do we do with this rage if we're being so disciplined about not doing property damage? Like, I can't help but feel when your rights get constantly violated, when everyone around you is being hassled and harassed in egregious ways that violate their bodily autonomy and human rights. You know, quote unquote human rights. You know, what are you supposed to do with all the rage? Especially, as Matt Christman said in one of his legendary Kush vlogs back in the day, he said, you know, he brought up this phrase that he said again and again in one of his sessions where he just kind of rants and vapes and drinks sparkling waters, where he was like, you know, do we have the horses? Do you have the horses to actually do anything about it, you know? I mean, I think it's really important right now to think about getting armed. I think it's really important right now to think about learning medic skills and just be prepared for that kind of thing. Because, you know, I was yelling Nuremberg 2027, but if that's going to happen, we very may well have to make it happen as the people, because Mayor Fry is not doing anything about it. Tim Walz isn't doing anything about it. And even Mayor Fry has mentioned, like, even if we wanted to arrest ICE and stuff, like, they got bigger guns and they got way more people, way more funding. Another thing to rage at is, you know, of course, that it's our taxpayer money, it's our labor. It's going to the federal government that's then funding this, like, these millions and millions of dollars, not to mention the billions of dollars you spend in foreign wars. Venezuela. In fact, the man who was shot was Venezuelan. And during the protest, there were several other minors who were taken and abused and had to go to the hospital. Anyway, so what are you supposed to do with all the rage? What are you supposed to do? Like, how are we supposed to continue to contain that? Are we supposed to just kind of metabolize it individually or collectively, somatically? Are we supposed to channel it into something productive, quote unquote? Or is there a way that perhaps the rage can be channeled into planning and militancy, not just violent militancy, but also logistical and labor-related militancy and mutual aid militancy? And I don't know. I'm thinking about Cornel West's idea of righteous anger.
There's a sense in which Samuel Beckett is right when he says we try again, fail again, and fail better. We try again, fail again, and fail better, because in the end we do fall on our faces. And you've been accenting the ways in which we continually bounce back, especially when we connect with one another and use whatever forms of weaponry we have available. Through social entrepreneurship, it could be through community organizing, it could be in churches, mosques, synagogues. If you're secular and atheistic and agnostic, it can be in other civil institutions in our larger society. But you try to live a life that you can, in some sense, not be ashamed of when your body is put in the grave.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
some sense of remembrance of those who came before. Some sense of memory of those who sacrificed. They set such high standards. That's why, again, like the blues and jazz, right? You pick up the saxophone and you hear John Coltrane, you say, ooh, I got to practice. Highest levels of what the Greeks call arete, excellence. But it's tied to the spiritual and the social. It's tied to the personal and the political. It's tied to the existential and the economic. All in one life.
Because rage plays out in the body. And it can either be metabolized or it can go somewhere.